Crumb coating is arguably the most important step in cake decorating because it lays a foundation for the entire cake. And here's a step-by-step tutorial. First thing I'm going to do is make my cakes a day in advance, wrap them in plastic wrap so they're airtight, and pop them in the fridge or freezer. This makes them set better so when you're cutting the cakes, they're not super crumbly and fall apart. Once they're cold, slice the top off the cake to make it as even as possible. When you're stacking your cake, you want those cake layers to be perfectly even so the cake isn't like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Repeat the process for all your cake layers. Next up, grab your cake board, start with a little dab of frosting, then put your first layer on the cake board and press down so your cake isn't slipping around. Then put an equal amount of frosting in between each cake layer and smooth out with an offset spatula. I like to use a large ice cream scoop or piping bag like shown here so I know they're all equal. Place your next cake layer on top, and then I like to get down to eye level with the cake to check if the cake is level and adjust it accordingly. When you get to your top cake layer, put it on upside down so you have a perfectly flat top, and then press down so you don't end up with air bubbles in your cake layers. Spread out more frosting on the top and sides of the cake, and then use a bench scraper to smooth the frosting until you can see some of the layers popping through. And make sure this step is crucial to put that frosting from your scraper in a separate bowl so you don't have any crumbs in the buttercream you're going to use to cover the outside later. Then level off the top and pop it in the fridge for at least 20 minutes before you continue. And remember, don't skip this step because